Hi everyone, so welcome to today's class. So in the last class of EWM, we have seen the processes that like some of the basic processes in SAP EWM. So today we are going to continue that class. Okay, so the previous class link will be I'll be providing it on the link, and you can click on the info button in the top. So there you can find the link to the previous class, and also you can find it from the playlist also. Okay, so let's start today's class. So in the last class we have seen till this one. So basically in SAP EWM we are having or we are managing three types of process. One is a inbound processing, one is a storage and operation, and one is a outbound processing. So in this we will be looking into what are the various types of inbound processing, what are the various types of storage and operation processes, what are the different kinds of outbound processing are there. Okay, so now in the inbound processing, first thing is transportation unit processing. So what is a transportation unit processing? So basically whenever a transportation unit will arrive at the gate of your warehouse, okay, so there will be some pre-check will be performed at the checkpoint. Okay, so at there we will be doing some of the checking or we will be doing some of the pre-checks. Okay, but then once the let's say the transportation unit is unloaded, then we can check the packages again, means with thorough checking, or we can have a, let's say, quality management. If it is available we can have it. So let's see in here you can see, if you see this image, so basically this is a image where, or here you can see this is a warehouse image. Okay, warehouse, these are called the doors. Okay, so here you can see one, two, three, four doors are there. So in this door here you will be seeing the trucks will arrive. So trucks are basically, these are the transportation unit. Okay, so whenever it arrives at the door or arrives at your warehouse point, so there first it will be checked. Okay, so once your truck is arriving, then you can check like what is there, if your material is there or not, if the packaging is proper or not. So these kind of things can be checked at the first point of let's say contact, or first point of checking. Okay, then you can unload it and you can keep it to, let's say, these kind of open areas will be there. Okay, so these kind of open spaces will be there, or open areas will be there where you can inspect those. Okay, those things you can inspect and then you can move it. Okay, so that is first is your transportation unit processing. So first you have to check while those kind of things are coming to your gate, then you have to send them to the, let's say, to the bin. Okay, so next one is goods receipt management and optimization. So this is basically, let's say, this transportation unit is arriving for the goods receipt, or to give you the product, or to let's say unload the product at your warehouse. So there it will become as a goods receipt. Okay, so goods receipt process, basically it will be a process of receiving the goods from the, let's say, from the door to the bins. Okay, as we have seen here. So here let's say your product is let's say it is getting unloaded over here. Okay, over here it is unloaded and it will be moved to the final destination. So here you can see these are some of the final destination. We can tell that these are the final destination where the products are getting stored. So here you can see there is an employee who is storing the product, right, who is moving the products, and they are storing in the racks, or somewhere in the place they are storing it. Okay, so this is the final destination where you are going to store the product. So this is basically your goods receipt process. Okay, so here the products from the warehouse door to their destination bins. Okay, so destination bins will be definitely, it will be managed by your let's say your configuration, or based on your settings, what are the destination bins are available, it can be sent to that. So next one is quality management, inbound quality management. So what is the quality management? So as I mentioned before, once you are checking the transportation unit, then if it is required for, let's say, quality management, you have to do a quality management. Then what is needed over there? So you have to draw a sample. Okay, you have to draw a sample. Sample means, let's say you are having a packet of let's say you are having a packet of 100 materials in a let's say in a box, or in let's say in a pallet or anywhere, you are having 100 packets. Okay, 100 packets or 100 items are there, so you can take 5 to 10 items from there. You can check that if the 5 items means random 5 items, if they are good or not. Okay, so you can do some checking, and then you can, if it is fine, if it is quality check, then you can move to the final destination as we have seen in the goods receipt. Okay, so transportation unit processing and means in the between of transportation unit and your goods receipt process. Goods receipt means your put away process. There might be one inbound, let's say quality management process might be there. Okay, so as per your requirement or as per your client requirement, it might be there. So you can do that. Okay, so basically for this one, we will be having a quality inspection, quality management module will be there. Okay, QM module will be there. So there will be some there are different kinds of things are there. Let's say your usage decision, your sample, let's say sample drawing procedure, and your sample lot creation, inspection lot creation. These are kind of things are there which we have seen in the WM. In the WM classes, we have seen some part of it. Not all of the part, but we have seen some part of it, and those are related to your quality management. So it is an integration between your EWM and QM module. Okay, if it is QM is there. The next one is internal routing. Okay, so internal routing means you can move the products or HU from one place to another. Okay, means from bin to bin or from rack to rack, you can move the products. Okay, that is called your internal routing. Or maybe you can move the product from the, let's say the from the source bin to the, let's say any kind of interim bins are there, interim staging areas are there, so you can move. That is called your internal routing. So these are basically some of the inbound processes are there. Okay, now if we say about the storage and operations, in the storage and operations, first thing will come as your physical inventory. Okay, so what is a physical inventory? I believe all of you know what is a physical inventory. So physical inventory is basically you have to compare your system products, means system stock with a physical stock, so that is called a physical inventory. So based on your requirement, you can have a physical inventory on an empty bin, or you can have a physical inventory on a, let's say before moving some of the products to the bin label, you can have a physical inventory in the EWM module. Okay, so next one is replenishment. So what is a replenishment? So replenishment is basically refilling your picking areas. Okay, let's say you need to send the, so there will be some picking area will be there. Okay, let's say as we have seen, so as we have seen this area, so let's understand, we have understand this as a, this is the door and here we are receiving the product. Now let's understand this is the door and we will be sending the product. Okay, to send the product, let's say this is the warehouse, this is a very big warehouse. Okay, because EWM mostly it is used for the big warehouses which are automated warehouses. So let's understand, here you are having the trucks, now you need the product. So whenever you are having the trucks, at that point of time, you don't have to come to the, let's say inside the warehouse, from where, like a source bin, from the source bins you are not you are not going to remove the product, but rather what will happen, so there will be a picking area will be there. Let's say there will be open space will be there. Let's say here in the this is a, let's say your doors, near to that door, let's say there will be some empty area will be there. You can mark it as a picking area. So from that picking area, you can move the products actually, where the let's say you can do the inspection and all, you can do the packing, you can do the you can pack into the HU. So these kind of things can be done in the picking area. Okay, picking area you can do those kind of things. So there will be some areas will be there which will be not the, let's say not the source storage bin, or not the any kind of, let's say storage area, but it will be a area where you can do some activities. Okay, so these are called the picking area. So to refill those picking area, because let's say your truck is there, so you need to have all of the product over there. Okay, whatever things you are going to load in the truck, you need to have all this product at that point, so that once your truck is there, directly your employees or your resources, they can load the product immediately. Okay, and they can move the trucks immediately, so they don't have to store it, they don't have to wait for a longer period of time, right? So it will be like they should be mostly they will be staying in the roads, because these are transportation units, so they need to stay in the roads, not in the warehouses. Okay, so that will increase your cost if they are staying more in the warehouses. So that's why we need to dispatch them as soon as possible, like whenever they are going to deliver you, or whenever they are going to take the products, you have to remove them as soon as possible. Okay, so these are basically your replenishment. So you have to fill that area, that picking area, you have to fill it, okay, as possible as requirement. So let's say you will be having a fast moving goods, you will be having some let's say demand demanding products will be there. So you need to have those things in your picking area, so that someone is asking you directly, you can give them give them, or directly you can load them. Okay, so if you understand about the replenishment, please comment yes. If you don't, if you still having any like if you don't understand what is the replenishment process, please comment in the comment section, so that we will be discussing again on the replenishment. Okay, because replenishment is basically it is a refilling of stocks. Okay, so now your warehouse request. So what is a warehouse request? So warehouse request is basically it is a rearrangement process of optimizing the products in your warehousing. Okay, so let's understand in this way. Um, Okay, so let's understand any kind of let's say you are having, maybe you are having an idea. Let's say you are working in a medicine shop. Okay, so in that medicine store shop, when you are having a lot of item, you can store it in the store. Okay, but you will be having a display section, right? Whenever you are going to a let's say medicine shop, there you will be having some racks or some shelves will be there. In that shelf there will be some medicines will be arranged, right? So there will be, we can say there will be some fast moving medicines will be there, there will be some slow moving medicines will be there, right? So fast moving means, let's say we can say there will be some headache medicines will be there, there will be some medicines will be there, there will be some fever medicines will be there, right? And there will be some let's say any kind of other medicines will be there, which is not used in a general, or not used that much frequently. So those items can be kept separate. Okay, so why I'm explaining this? So let's say you are having a fast moving goods. Okay, so those area will be emptied a lot of time, means it will be emptied first, then you have to fill up that area again, so that whenever someone is coming, let's say one person is giving all that things, so that portion should be filled out, so that whenever he needs that product, directly he can go there and he can pick that up and he can give that to the customer. So in which, let's say, medicine shops these things are maintained, they can like those are having a lot of customers, and customer can come and they can go back easily. And some of the medicine shop, just giving one example of medicine shop, you can compare it with other things also. So where there is a faster processing is there, people come very often, right? So if you are staying for a 1 hour 2 hour period of time, or half an hour period of time, you tend to go less over there, right? So same thing, you have to fill it up in a proper way. Okay, so in that way, so you have to fill it up, you have to rearrange those things, so that you can have a faster transaction or faster movement of the goods. So those are called the warehouse request. The next one is kit to stock management. Okay, so kit, what is a kit to stock management? Normally what will happen in warehouse, or in the, let's say, in the storing the product, what will happen, some products are sold together. Let's understand it this way. If we give a simple example, so let's say there is a saving kit is there for male people, or for males, let's say for boys, there will be a saving kit will be there. So in the saving kit, you will be having one razor, you will be having a, let's say, one brush, you will be having one, what is there? You'll be having one foam or one, let's say, one cream will be there. So this is a kit. So you have to sell this. If you are saying this as a saving kit, you have to sell this in a kit only. Okay, you are not, let's say you are saying it as saving kit, but you are only supplying the saving, let's say, a razor blade only you are supplying. Okay, so that is not a kit, that is a single item. So similarly for females also, there will be some beauty kit or there will be some facial kits will be there. There you will be getting like 3 or 4 types of facial creams, right? So there you are having a kit. Okay, so it is a like real live example. So similarly in your warehouse or in your storage location also, let's say for manufacturing one product you will be needing one kit. Okay, let's say if we understand it like this way, let's say a puncture kit. Okay, for vehicle we are getting a puncture kit, so there will be one 3 4 items will be there which we will be calling a puncture kit. So those things will be come together in a kit or in a box in or in a single packet, right? So those kind of things we call it as a kit to stock. Okay, so kit to stock is basically in the warehousing we can say for manufacturing a product, if we need 3 to 4 products in a compulsory manner, if we need that product, so that will be stored in a single box or that will be stored in a single place, so that whenever someone is asking, we can directly give him the kit. So take the kit, you can do the production. Okay, so that is called, those concepts are called kit to stock. Okay, so kit to stock is a part of your storage and operations process. Okay, understand this. Why I'm saying this? Because this will be getting asked in your um, certification exam. Okay, try to understand this, try to remember this. Okay, so either you can create this kit creation manual in the SAP ERP. In the SAP ERP, let's say you are creating a bomb, there you can create a kit and you can send it to the EWM, or you can create the EWM directly with a VAS order, or we can say as a value added service. Okay, so through that you can create directly in the EWM. Okay, try to understand and remember this. If you are going to any kind of certification exam, these questions will be asked, these kind of questions will be asked. So mostly they will be bifurcated and they will be coming in from the different zones, but these kind of questions will be asked. Okay, so this is all about our storage and operations. Now the last part is outbound processing or outbound planning. So basically what is the outbound planning? Let's say there is a outbound delivery will be there, that will be containing all this outbound planning. Let's say we will route means routing, how we are going to send that products or how we can determine the route and how we can determine the bin. All of those things can be determined with respect to settings or with respect to your customizing. Okay, so based on which bin you need to select, which route you have to take, so these kind of things can be done through your background settings. Okay, so this is your outbound planning. So first thing is outbound planning. Okay, how you can take the product, how you can send the product, or how you can route the product to the customer or to the supplier or anything you can say. Next one is picking optimization, packing, staging, and load management. So these all comes for your outbound processing only. So picking optimization means, as we have seen or as we have discussed about the picking area, in that picking area, so same thing applies for the picking optimization, how you can move the product very quickly, very effectively, how you can move the product. So that is called your picking optimization. Next one is packing. So packing is, let's say, whenever you are sending a product, you cannot send that product directly or likewise, but you have to pack that product in a handling unit. So it is a cover material. Let's say you are getting any kind of materials you are getting from, let's say, online deliveries, that is coming with a either with a poly bag, like polythene bag, or that is coming through a, let's say, cardboard carton. It is coming as a carton only, they're coming, right? So these are the packing materials. So those are packing materials we have to pack it like HU, we have to pack it and we have to send it. Then it comes to staging. So staging is basically required for your production area. Okay, there we will be having one staging area. From that staging area, we have to, like we are having the packing area for dispatching, we will be having a staging area for the production. Okay, then load management. Load management is basically how you are loading the product, how you should load the products in the, let's say, transportation unit. That is called your load management. Okay, so these are basically the processes of outbound processing. Okay, so apart from these processes, there are some general processes are the also there, or we can say these are the integration part, right? So what are the integration parts? So we can say resource and labor management. Okay, what is the resource and labor management? So let's say you are doing these kind of activities, let's say inbound process, outbound process, or storage and operations. You are doing some activities, right? So who will be doing that activities? So those activities will be done by the resources. Okay. So resource means here not only resource means your labor. So resource means your employees or your workers with the devices also. Okay, whatever things are there, you can name it under the resources. Okay, so resources basically, so here you can see resources is basically, here you can see the people, material handling equipment, and the RF environment. RF environment is basically radio frequency environment, so that used to scan people. So if we take if you don't know about the, like, if you are not that much of familiar to the let's say warehousing process, RF devices you can just imagine as a barcode scanner. Okay, that is one example of RF devices, but RF devices will be like it will be more functional than the barcode only. Okay, barcode is only having one scanning, but there will be no display or anything will be there. Okay, so as an example you can understand, so same thing as your temperature gun is there, right? So in any kind of, you are going to any malls or anywhere, they're checking your temperature with a temperature gun, right? So that is similar, that is similar kind of RF devices. So you can imagine like a bigger devices like that one. Okay, so you will be having one like radio frequency gun will be there, with which you can scan some of the boxes, you can scan some of the barcodes, you can scan some of the let's say any kind of QR codes are there, you can scan everything, or you can scan some pallets and you can get the information from there, like where I need to place it, when I need to pick it from. So all of the information will be provided under the RF devices. So combination of your, let's say, people or your employee and the RF devices is called a resource. Okay, so same with the labor management. So in the labor management, basically you can plan your labor times, you can see who are the resources are available, right? So you can make some plans with which resources you can work for today. So you can plan the activities, you can plan your like what are the kinds of things are there, so you can plan accordingly. Whatever things are there, like what you have and what you can do, so you can plan according to that one. Okay, so you can visualize the activities in your warehouse, that today I can perform these kind of activities. Okay, so based on these kind of things, like you can evaluate the performance of the warehouse employees. Okay, how they are working per day, how much task they have completed, what are the timings of them. So you can do those kind of things. These kind of things are possible in the resources and labor management. Okay, so next one is your cross docking. Okay, so what is a cross docking? So cross docking is basically um, whenever you do let's say whenever you are going to transport the items without receiving them. Okay, how you are going to do without receiving them? Let's understand a scenario. So let's say you are sending your material. Okay, so your material will be sent through a mini truck, or let's say a Tata Magic, or any kind of smaller vehicles are there, so you can send your material with them. Okay, so there will be a let's say exchange point will be there. Exchange point, or I can say a loading point, or I can say a distribution point will be there. Okay, there what will happen? There will be bigger trucks or bigger, let's say, containers will be there. Okay, so directly your items will be loaded to that containers from your trucks. There they're not receiving your product, they will not store your product, rather they will be sending the product directly from you to the next container, and the next container will leave from there. So that is basically called a cross docking. So you are not receiving the product, or you are not sending the product, rather you are receiving something and immediately you are sending. Okay, you are not receiving, actually you are transferring from the goods receipt to the goods issue. Okay, without storing them. So this is the basically process it is called. So from goods receipt to goods issue without storing them. So you are not storing, directly you are sending it from there itself. Okay, so this you can do with different kinds of process. There is a one TCD method, or transportation cross-docking method is there. So we have discussed the distribution center. So distribution center is somewhere we can distribute from one, let's say from one source of transportation unit to another source of, or another transportation unit we can move it. Okay, so these are basically the cross-docking methods. Okay. So next one is yard management. Okay, so yard management is required basically if you are using the transportation unit. Okay, means if you are having any handling of your transportation unit, then you have to assign the yard management. So yard management is basically, it is related to your warehousing door. It is related to that. Okay, so basically your yard management is related to, basically it is related to your door section. Okay, where the materials are getting received or where your materials are getting sent. Okay, those unit, if you are going to manage or monitor the transportation unit, so you require that yard management. Okay, so these are some of your general processes are there, which is related to all of these warehouse processes we are having. This is related to all of these process. Okay. Now next one is we are having some exceptions, or we are having some, let's say, we are having some exceptions from the standard processes. Okay. So first one is advanced production integration. So if you are having a APOs, sorry, if you are having any kind of production integration is there. Okay, so there you will be having one production material request. Okay, so production material request, it can be created directly from the EWM system, then it can go to the ERP system. Okay, so it is basically a delivery request what will be created in the, let's say, if it is from the ERP system, then it is same as the delivery document. What is the, let's say, data is there in the delivery, but the thing is here this will be not created in the ERP system. Okay, so it will be created in the EWM system, and it can the, let's say, the information can be passed to the production system. Okay, then there will be one direct outbound delivery concept is also there. So you can create a direct outbound delivery in EWM. Okay, then you can copy it to the ERP. Okay, what are the scenarios we will be discussing in the further classes. Kit to stock, we have already discussed about the kit to stock. Okay, and there is one more thing from S4HANA 2020 onwards. Okay, so um, okay, zero is missing over here. So 2020 onwards, it is possible to work in the embedded EWM without inbound deliveries. So for the embedded system, embedded, if you are using the embedded EWM, so you don't require a EWM, sorry, you don't require a inbound delivery for the goods receiving process. Rather, you can directly do it without inbound delivery also. Okay. So these are the exceptions in the process. So these kind of questions also you can get in the certification exam. Okay, these kind of questions you can get, direct outbound deliveries, if this is possible or not. Okay, these kind of questions you might get, or what is a direct outbound delivery. you can get some let's say options to that, but basically you can get these kind of questions over there. Okay, so now let's understand about the inbound process document. So this is already we have discussed in the class one, but still we are discussing this one. So here in the let's say this is the ERP system and this is the EWM system. Okay, so in the ERP system there will be a purchase order. With respect to a purchase order, there will be a inbound delivery will be created, and in the EWM, exact replica of this inbound delivery will be a inbound delivery notification. Okay, so it is an exact replica of inbound delivery, and then there will be one inbound delivery will be created in the EWM based on the inbound delivery notification. Okay, so these are the basically document you will be having for inbound processes. Okay, so if someone is asking you in the interview also what is the process documents or what are the documents will be created if you are creating a ERP to EWM, um, let's say inbound delivery, what are the documents are created? So you can say purchase order, inbound delivery, then inbound delivery notification, then inbound delivery in the EWM system. Okay, so this is basically the process flow. And with the S4HANA system, this inbound delivery notification is made as optional. This is not kind of mandatory. Okay, but for your SCM system, if you are using EWM 9.5 or if you are using the EWM in the SCM system, this is required. But if you are using a S4HANA system, so this inbound delivery notification is not mandatory. So next one is same for the outbound delivery. So for the outbound delivery, here a sales order will be there, one outbound delivery will be there. From the outbound delivery, there will be one outbound delivery request will be there. Okay. So in the inbound delivery, it was called inbound delivery notification. In case of outbound delivery, it is called outbound delivery request. So then from the outbound delivery request, there will be outbound delivery order will be created. With respect to that outbound delivery order, there will be one outbound delivery will be created. There will be 5 documents in case of outbound processing. There will be 4 documents in case of your inbound processing. Similarly, with let's say S4HANA system, this outbound delivery request is not mandatory. If you are using the SCM system, then you can have the outbound delivery request as the mandatory. Okay. So that's all for today. In the next class, we will be looking into the warehouse request document task and what are the different kinds of, let's say, warehouse orders are there. So coming to the question like transfer order and transfer request, we will be looking into the next process or next things, next basics we can see about those kind of scenario. What is a warehouse request is there? What is a warehouse task is there? What is a warehouse order is there? Okay, so these kind of things we can see in the next classes. So till then, bye bye and take care.